Hi, everybody. I thought I'd take a break from my marking just to make a quick little video for you because I'm extremely concerned with the what I'm seeing in your lab number 7. And one of the reasons I'm so concerned is this was a 2-week lab, so everybody had lots of time to work on this, and I received very little uh, questions as to what was required or what was needed. And this is a huge problem because this week's lab, which is due on Wednesday, actually relies on you having a good project from the previous week. And so I thought I'd take a couple minutes and run over a few things with you, and we'll try to get it fixed up so that this week when you turn in your lab, it's going to be at least have a chance of passing. Because while some of you may think that I've been hard on the marking, I've been super liberal to give as many marks as I possibly can, and so understand that many of you have not reached the bar on this lab, and so we need to fix it. And so let's get into that. First thing is to make sure that you have the right box. A few people didn't have the correct box. You want to make sure that you get the correct box, and you can see here that I'm on the Hammond website, and I've actually searched for the actual box, and so I will download the step file. Okay. And that's fantastic. And we can unzip this. Here we go. And I'm just going to put this on my desktop for now. And yep, here we go. So I'll just copy this and go to my desktop, and I'll just paste it here with the incredible amount of files that I have here already. Okay, perfect. There it is. And the other one is the grommet. People seem to have trouble finding this grommet. It's important that you type in the correct name for the grommet. It's HG-1 3.5, and you need to jump through a few hoops. What you're looking for here is the manufacturing CAD, and then once you get that far, it will take you to this web page where you can then download it in the format that you want. And for us, we're going to download it in AutoCAD and generate the file. There we go. And we can download it and do the same thing where we'll open it up, and we will copy this to our desktop. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to do the two parts right now. I will link in the video where I created the placeholder, but that's a good start. Okay, so I'm going to say that I want to create a new part from my template file. Okay, and so here's my template file, and we're all good. I'm just going to close this for now. We're going to go to my model, and I'm going to import. And I want to import that step file, which is on my desktop. And there it is there. Maybe it's this one. And okay. And perfect. Okay, so here's my part. And I really don't care about the orientation. But the first thing to bring up to everybody is notice that when I hover over it, it's a block reference. And so the first thing that we really want to do is we need to burst it. Okay. And now you'll notice that I have all the individual pieces, but again, these are still block references. So the nice thing about burst as opposed to explode is I can continue to burst these components as many times as I want, and it won't ever take it past a solid. Now I have solids. Whereas if I use the explode, I can actually explode a solid into surfaces, and then even go from surfaces to wireframes, to actual lines. All right. And so the next thing that we want to do is we actually want to set up some layers. And so I'm going to create some new layers. I'm going to call this one lid. Okay, and I'll change. Sorry for that. I'll change the color to red, and we'll create another layer. And this one I'll call box. And why don't I change it to green? And then I'll create one more layer, and I'll call this screw. And why don't I make it yellow? And I'll make one more. I'll call it Grom for Grommet, and we'll make it nice. Okay, we don't have dark blue, I don't believe. Okay, perfect. And so I will take, and I'm just going to select the lid for now. Okay, and we want to take the lid, and we're going to move it. Okay, to layer lid. There we go, lid. Notice that it doesn't change the color. And so in order to access my quick properties, there's a couple of ways to do it, but I'm just going to double click on it. And notice that under color, it says that it's 191, 191, 191, which is this beautiful gray. So we want to change that over to by layer. As a matter of fact, we could change all of these parts all over to by layer so that we don't have to do them all individually. All right, so now we can change this to box. Perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide. So I'm going to turn off the box, and I'm going to turn off the lid so that I can access all of the screws, which I can now simply pop onto the screw layer. This also means that I can start to work on this in pieces. I don't have to move anything around. I can actually just turn off the layers that I don't need. Okay, so next we need to insert that grommet that we downloaded. So in this case, we can use the block command because it's already a AutoCAD part. And so here we are. I'm going to go and sorry, I don't want block. I want insert. There we go. And so in this case, we want to go hunt one down, other drawings. So let's go find it. In this case, it's on my desktop, HG 3.5. Open. There it is. And I can place one here on my drawing. Okay, so it's completely random at this point, but good enough for just this second. We'll do the same thing. We'll make sure that it is actually solid. So again, it's a block reference. So we're going to burst it. It's still a block reference, so we'll try it one more time. And now it's a solid, so we can go in and change it to by layer. And we will move the layer over to Grom. Perfect. Okay, so next we want to start to look at how to make some holes in this. And one of the things that I see from a lot of people is they actually don't take the time to look at how these things mount. Okay, so they go at and they put a hole in it, they measure something, and they knock the hole in. The right way to actually do this is to go in and look at what the hole is supposed to be. In this case, the hole would be a dimension H. So the 3.5, you are looking for an H of 8 millimeters or 0.315. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my drawing now that I'm armed with that information, and I'm going to put a hole in the side of this that is a 3.5, 315 thousandths of an inch. So let's make a cylinder here on the side. And I don't know if you can see this properly, but let me rotate this guy around so that we can see it a little bit better. Come on. And maybe I'll change this over to, there we go, shaded with edges. And so I'm going to make that cylinder, and I want to put it on this face. I actually want that hole on the angle. Okay. And I want a diameter, so D for diameter, of 0.315. Okay, and I'll protrude through some distance. And if we want, we can go in here and turn off the lid to make sure nothing super silly's happened, but that's okay to me. So I'm going to now take this and use my Boolean operations. So I'm going to subtract by taking this part, enter, and removing this part. All right, so now I have a hole in here, and I want to move this so that it fits in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the align function. And I'm going to align this hole, or this part, and let me change back over here to my wireframe. And so align this guy, and I want to make sure that I catch the right circle here on you. Okay, so it's that guy right there. So I want the center of the hole here, and I want that center hole to align with that center hole. And then the inside of it, which will be that center hole, I want to align with the inside of it. So here we go, and that center hole. And we'll say, okay. Oh, it's not happy. Try again here. Let me move this over so it's a little bit closer. And possibly the 3D align would have been a little bit easier for this, but here we go. So we're going to align this guy, and we want the center of that hole there. Get the right one. With the center of that and the center of this one. Hopefully I didn't grab the same hole both times. Probably did. Oh, well, as you can see, it's not always easy. Here we go. Try one more time. Align this guy. The first source point. That center. That center. Okay. Center of the other side. Center of the back side. No, I don't want to scale. All right. So a little bit of finagling around, a matter of picking the right parts to do the alignment. But, you know, that was, as we saw in the exercise, part of the trick was making sure that we pick the right parts. Okay. So let me turn the lid back on, and I'm going to go over to my drawing. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of my viewport here. Oops. Deleted too many things. Grab that guy. Perfect. And I'll get rid of this for now. And I'm going to create a couple drawings. And so again, I'm going to say layout, base, from model space, and we can pick, in this case, not the back, but we want the front. front, I say. Back, I say. There we go. Okay, so we'll grab the back and the side and the side and an isometric view, and I'll call that good enough for this view. So this would be the assembly view. In the second view, now take the time to actually have the border and the title block in there. But in this case, if we wanted just the bottom of the box, we would go in and select only the bottom of the box. So let me deselect this. Come on. Deselect everything except that. All right. So here, and here, and here, and here. And now we have this in place. And one of the things that we can do is turn off the line weight. Where are you? Line weight. You should be down here. Let's see. Line weight. We'll turn that off. And you can see that we get a nice cleaner drawing. Now, because this hole is on an angle, remember we won't be able to put a diameter on it. So we need to be a little bit more clever on how we dimension this. And so here I'll just throw in here an annotation. Let's put a linear dimension between here and here. And I'll call that good enough. Take the time, please, to get proper dimensions in there. But this would be sufficient. I would accept this. The other thing that people seem to be having trouble with is how to dimension some of this stuff, right? So this is a non-draft surface, so that's easy enough. But notice that we have draft on these sides. Getting an exact spot to this is going to be near impossible, and I understand that. So as long as you pick something logical, like this far edge, that would be something that I could definitely accept. All right, so basically, remember how to import properly. Remember to burst it properly. Change the color to by layer. Make sure that they are on their own layers so that you can turn them on and off. Use the align function to align your parts. Make sure that the layout is clear and concise, and your dimensions are reasonable. The other thing that you need to consider is how things are going to mount. As I say, with the grommet, the information's in the data sheet. A lot of people with their keypad and their LCD didn't really give any consideration to how it was going to mount. The idea was that you would have a small hole for the wires to come through, and then the mounting screws in there. All right. A bit of a long-winded video for a short uptake, but this is definitely going to help you with your lab that's due on Wednesday to make sure that it's up to snuff, because I'm going to be less lenient when it comes to the marking. All right. Thanks. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please send them through via email, and I'll be more than willing to respond. All right. Thanks, and have yourself a great day. Bye now.